I had reached my minimums, and I had even thought of coming out of this filthy world, quote unquote. There was a lot of thoughts coming from my mind. Particularly, there was this time when I was now fed up with being alive, because I felt disappointed so much, to an extent that I even wanted to commit suicide. My name is Kenneth Otieno, and I come from Kisumu County. Currently, I stay at Thika in Kiambu County, where I do my studies, journalism and mass communication. My high school was in Lions High School, Kisumu, where I graduated and went to Mount Kenya University. I joined Mount Kenya University in the year 2019, and I've been studying since then. So my story starts with having joined school, and I met a friend of mine, and I must say that I joined the dating game later on, having been convinced after a long time. It was not my thing in the past, but because it is possible and it is good to risk in life, I did the same. I must say that I dated for the last 3 years. That was in the year 2021 up to 2023, where I believe all hell broke loose. My dating journey has not been that easy, just the same as many out there. But I must say that when roses have thorns, and marriage is not a bed of roses. So it always starts somewhere. And of course, I put my best foot forward, and I wouldn't say I was 100% with my life and all that, my love life. But I must say that there were do's and don'ts, there were goods and bads, pros and cons, of course, along the way. But quick things first, I must say that it was a promising, loving relationship. With me personally on my side, I was eager to marry this person and to be my love, my lawfully wedded wife, maybe in the future. I had plans, and I must say that I am jack of all trades, and I believe that I was willing and able to start a relationship that would be a lifelong relationship or something. But because I don't know what the other party was feeling, it was a twist and turns, a set of events. As for me, I believe that I was able, having sought myself, because I am into business, and of course I don't share a lot. I do share a little bit, but when it comes to my personal interest and my personal life, I kept that to be at bay from my significant other. I must say that things happened, and very thick and very fast. I started seeing red flags, and I must say that they were very, 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 very disturbing. And as for me, now that I had the promising future and the promising career, I must say I have career in business, and I was having business ideas in my mind. So it's only the problem that you don't share with your significant other that problems do arise. My significant other, I must say, they had feelings that I had no vision, and that my life was not moving at the right direction. Basically, and maybe if I could say, is because when she joined me in campus, I had joined in 2019, and things happened. We were chased from school during the corona back then, and I only have one problem with me. I'm one person who, when my attention is shifted from what I was doing, I always shift for good until some other time when I now pick up. I always say that I pick up at an automatic speed, where I pick up slowly, an automatic gear. So I must say that things happened, and when we came back in the year 2021, when I was now starting all again what I had started, and because of the disruption of the corona and the pandemic on that time, and also we also must recognize that there was the pandemic, the post-corona problems, which I also incurred. So life was not that easy. We came back to school at a time when I had lost hope in my future somehow, and I had lost vision somehow. But as a man, I always pick up. A man, the Bible says, a righteous man falls 7 times and stands up once, and their life is able to change for the better. So things happened, and my mind was not that which I was used to, because challenges emerge, and a lot of issues that are normally there in campus out there, in university and all that. So what I can say is that it has not been an easy journey. When I was able to receive the red flags and also issues that were prompting further change, further check ups and balances, I was really pissed off when this my partner would now change all of a sudden to a silent person. She doesn't want to pick my calls. She blocks me on WhatsApp, and I'm not that guy who would maybe simp, because simping is not part of my caliber. I believe that when somebody is into something, they always follow up, and they also check on the other person. So I didn't bother so much. But again, there are underlying issues when you talk to somebody daily and you feel there are some dangers, of course, that are accompanied with it. So I was so much carried into the relationship so much, because, you know, as for men, we do not multitask with ease. I would find myself with issues. I'm trying to cope with my academic journey. I'm trying to cope with my business journey. I'm also trying to cope up with my relationship journey. And you realize that it was demanding. It's not adding up. So efforts to gear up all these and to come up with all myself as a man was not that easy. So I got myself into problems. I was depressed. I was so much stressed out. And whenever I shared my story with my partner, they wouldn't bother. I must say this would be a toxic relationship to some extent, because I was not seeing the benefits, because the benefits range from sex and to health and well-being of a man. It looks, as for men, and I must quote the former First Lady of US, Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama would say, as for men, we should look beyond sex, and for women, you should look beyond money. So as for me, I was not controlling my partner with money or something. I was just there. I put the relationship at an average angle, and I imposed an even playing ground. But I think the lady as well didn't understand much, because I believe when I met her a virgin, and I must say I was proud of her. And up to date, I still hold reservations for her. But when toxicity knocked in, things changed. And I had my kicks and blows that I received. I must say, even out there, I believe there are several and even dozen complicated issues, more than even myself. I've heard of issues where people would quarrel, people would fight, and if revenge would come into relationship, then people would even lead to more advanced toxicity, where people would be killed. You hear of partners killing one another and all that. So my partner would tell me that there was this particular time when she apologized for having cheated on me, and she came out and said, it was revenge powers. And I was quick, and I even rushed to forgive, when I didn't know that this was a long-term process. So what happened is, when I forgave her, we came back together, we were reunited. And we were quick and we were into rush, and things happened again. We made love again, and I thought it was solved, and things were moving. We were now ready to kick to the right direction, but it was now worsening. So when she went home, and whenever she went home, there were issues. She would be playing that tough girl. But when we were with her back at Thika, she was that naive, that calm, that collected lady who, if one would see us together, would say that this lady was calm to an extent that she could not even harm a fly. So I was seeing these red flags from her, and particularly there was this story when she told me that, as for her, it was even okay if she stayed for a long time without talking to the partner. And I was like, was this crazy? Because yes, there are dangers of talking with somebody daily, but why would you all of a sudden keep quiet, or maybe keep numb with somebody whom you've been conversing with? Do you care for their upbringing, for their social intuition, for their issues, and how they cope with the day-to-day lives? So I was really compromised, and I felt offended to some extent, because this is somebody whom I had high hopes for. So, well, the issues that I had, the challenges that I had, actually, I was stressed out, I was depressed, because I was collecting sideshows, collecting tantrums. She would yell at me at some times, even over the phone. She would call for breakup over the phone, and I was not that kind of person who would break up with somebody over the phone. I remember President Moi would hire and fire over the phone, but you see, people are different, and so it was not my idea that we break up over the phone, because we had met physically. And of course, I believe, even if it's all about breaking up, it's good somebody to furnish you with all the necessary details of their approach towards that decision, because we are adults. She's 20, she's above 20, I'm above 20, and I believe it would only be prudent if we reach an amicable agreement that maybe we are breaking up because of this and this. I feel this and this. Then I would share my options. Then if at least I don't satisfy her decision, then she would walk away. But then I must say, the challenges as well developed into other, even more traumatizing situations, where my academic journey was kind of disrupted. My business was disrupted as well, because now I couldn't come to terms with what I'm undergoing, and also multitask to whatever I'm supposed to do. So I found myself with backlogs of huge academic chunks, and I found myself deferring my semesters, some of them, so that I could be able to heal. Up to date, I've not healed that much, because I'm still recuperating slowly by slowly. It's not that easy journey, and even I'm not rushing into another relationship, because I have to now nurse my injuries and be able to come out strongly to withstand such like odysseys and all that. So what I can say is I have tried to overcome my relationship journey and also the academic struggles that I have. I've been able to come to terms with the underlying issues that are normally associated with the breakups and all that. I've read a lot of books about coming out of such scenarios. I've been through therapies, visited friends. I'm always next to my life doctors. I call them life doctors, the medicine students, and also I've been also visiting friends who are doctors as well, just to share with them my story and also to maneuver through the rubbles of the hiccups that it comes with. So basically it's not an easy journey, but I must say it's all about sharing your story, and as it is always said that a problem shared is a problem half solved. I think having shared my problems, I think they are halfway to be solved, and so I believe men should not give up out there. Men should seek solutions, and of course there are solutions. So basically I had reached my minimums, and I had even thought of coming out of this filthy world, quote unquote. There was a lot of thoughts coming from my mind, and I was thinking a lot indeed, and particularly there was this time when I was now fed up with being alive, because I felt disappointed so much, to an extent that I even wanted to commit suicide. And as for me, my only problem is when I have an issue, I do share. I don't know whether it's a problem, but it emerges to be a victor's idea, because whenever I share on my status, I get friends who are now like angels. They come out strongly, they call you, they advise you, and because I was a people person, so they couldn't come to terms with that agreement that I had reached. So I got several phone calls about even there were even more than 10, I can recall. About 20 friends who were checking on me, and of course I could see in my WhatsApp the DMs were about 50 people just literally texting me. Whenever they texted me, I recall I couldn't even hold my phone, like to text back, to even listen to them via the call. So it was not that easy journey, because I felt it, and it was even my first time. So moving on with it was not that easy, because I had now to ask myself, like, how would I handle this situation? I do not want to share this maybe online, but it's beyond me. I felt it maybe at the brim. Basically, this is the one particular time I didn't even share with my mom whatever was happening this much. But I must say that the toxicity that my lady had was to the extreme, because at one time when she would invite me over to her place, she would sanitize my phone whenever I was already asleep, dead asleep in fact. She would ensure, she was this lady who would cook meals and ensure that I was full. I even I even applaud her because of that, because I really love food so much. And when somebody can cook well and can ensure that I'm satisfied, I really love them so much. So that I think is the main problem that I really had, because she would sanitize my phone when I was now dead asleep after a heavy meal, and also maybe after 1-2 for the road, after what we call a love-making affair. So I was dead asleep, and that is the time I believe also the women, about some women I've heard, they chop off the Whenever they are so toxic to their relationship, they chop off the manhood of their significant other because they are dead asleep, they don't think of anything and all that. So I was really passing through a lot because my phone would be frisked, until at a certain point when I now thought to myself that what is the benefit of visiting my friend? Whenever I come, I visit her, my phone has to be checked and questions have to be asked. Why were you talking to this lady? Well, could you please explain to me why you are flirting with other women? Why are you in conversation with other women? What is it that I don't give you that they give you? Then I was like, what exactly have you found to be a cheating exhibit, or maybe an evidence that you can attach that gives you the impression that I'm cheating on you? I even went ahead and elaborated to her that, you know what, when a man loves, it's always the M-Pesa that speaks. It's their money. How much do they give you? How much do they take care of you with? And maybe how much do they how much do they care? It's always through the M-Pesa and also through how you are brought up. As for me, I'm brought up to take care of a woman because I heard of all this from my male friends. I remember I had never seen my father, my real father, even since birth. But when he died in 2017, when I was taking Form 4, I couldn't even see him where he was buried, but I went later on and saw the grave and the gravesite. So what I can say is that whatever I've come to learn from my male friends and maybe daddy figures, father figures that I've come across, was that taking care of a woman was something that was prioritized, and even from the community that I come from. You know, they normally say Luo is a lifestyle. So we normally brag on way too much of how we romanticize our relationships and how how we respond to love. So I really love this lady because she was my first date and also my first relationship that I really had. And given an added advantage that we had was that I was the first gentleman to break her. So there was a lot of clinginess to this relationship. I had never loved any other woman than the way I loved this lady. So when she decided to now, become silent all of a sudden, become, toxic, because how she would react whenever she would find maybe traces of chats. But I'm one person who does not clear chats, because I believe whatever I'm conversing with the other people out there should be well known to my friend, so that whenever there's a problem, we share. I always love it when I'm caught on the wrong. Then I come out clean. I shed more light on why I should be retained as a friend. But I came to realize that my friend was into other people, other men, because now she was in this belief that, I have really wronged her. But I asked myself, and because I'm a believer, I tend to pick options from the Bible. I would ask myself, the Bible says, a faithful husband who can find? I don't know how the Bible coins that question, but it is applicable to the modern world today, because getting somebody who has only interacted with one lady is very difficult, and getting a lady who is only interacting with one man is also difficult. We live at a certain point in time where we interact with the people of opposite gender, but that alone does not change things. That alone does not credit the issue of cheating. But I must say that I came out clean as for me, and I must say I'm not 100% perfect, but I must say that I tried my level best. I gave it my best. 3 good years, even if I was the wrong person, or even the bad or the worst man on planet Earth, then three good years for me to have entertained this lady, for her to have entertained me, then I believe, because it carried like 6 months, several 6 months, and you know, it's 6 months that can determine whether you are a man or a woman, or maybe whether you are a husband or a wife. Because I believe I had plans, my future plans with her, that maybe at one time I would marry her. But when she now decided to keep quiet with me, to be silent with me, then I was left in the blues. So whenever I would try to salvage our relationship, it was problems. To an extent, she would abuse me, she would call me names, she would even tell me, ukiachwa achika, ukiachwa achika. And words like, I met you, and it's the same thing. The way I met you is the same way I can leave you. All sorts of mannerisms to do with you know, crooked ways of dealing with issues. So it really impacted a lot of my life. To an extent, I became an introvert all of a sudden. So I would ask myself, like, how would we continue with this relationship? Basically and mentally, I had begun switching. I had started developing fears with this relationship personally. And if I can confirm, or if I can maybe relate, I had left her a long time ago, mentally. I had left her even before she left me. Because when she came back to apologize to me that maybe she was being controlled by revenge powers, she came back when I had already moved on. Because not moved on literally that I had maybe other mates or something, but I had just left her. The way she had behaved, the way the character she had displayed had already signaled me that there's nothing we are arguing about here. So I had left her a long time ago. And I decided not to move on pretty quickly, but just to give myself other things to do. I decided to fry other fish. So I joined partnership and also business, where I had an idea of starting a chips joint and accompany it with the chicken. So the chips has already picked up, the chips business has already picked up, and what I'm now figuring out is the chicken part of it, which is now also my idea for next year. So the way I overcame all this was as a result of the friends I had. Now the question that I beg to ask is that, how would a man who is not well connected overcome such a scenario or such a problem? When we realize of cases, we've had cases in the news of men giving up so soon, men taking their lives, men taking the law literally into their hands, you know, revenging unto their opposite gender and all that. But I decided not to take that step and that journey, not because I was not able to. I was willing and I was also able to do that. I could even finance bad things. But because I am a man who believes in values and virtue, I decided to give it a second thought. I was asking myself, maybe my lady was also having some ordeal that maybe I didn't know. Maybe she was passing through some other challenges that I didn't know. But now the problem with her was that whenever we had a fight or we had a problem, she would decide to keep all the problems to herself. She's one person who does not even have like friends, close friends to share with stories. So it was not that easy with me dealing with the issues, but I must say that I gave it the benefit of doubt, but I had no iota of doubt that it would not materialize. I believe that all is not lost, but it's a matter of time, And out there, my only message that I can give out there is that, as for women, young women for instance, you should always not write off men, provided these men are still alive. You could be there, you have graduated, or maybe you could be out there, you have made it, you have your business as a woman, as a girl. Never, never, never underrate the men you meet in your life, because tomorrow, nobody knows about tomorrow. So today, I've heard of even cases that we had in Bomet, where there is a bridegroom who was left during the wedding, and it is becoming a trend of divorce, the high rates of divorce, and even in relationships and all that. But I must say that it's not a good idea to be able to call it quits too early and all that. Let us always give it a second thought. Maybe this person had plans for you, or maybe this person was meant to be your significant other, but because we normally write them off too early and do all that. So as for me, I would like to say that let us always be our brother's keeper. Let us always give it a try. Let us always try our level best to be good people, and also to be able to come to terms with the situations we pass through in our life. I can also say this, men, you should not also feel down to an extent that you cannot speak up. Speak out, cry loudly so that you can be heard. It is not wrong to cry. It is okay not to be okay as men. You should always seek therapy sessions. You should always air out your issues, articulate your grievances whenever you have problems. But my only advice is that you do not hurt women out there. It's not good to kill, even from the Bible, even from Quran and all that. It's not good to kill, to shed innocent blood. Yes, you have been depressed, you have been disappointed, but are you happy seeing your partner alive? I think that is the best thing I can advise people out there. But it is okay for men to cry. Nobody said you are strong, and let us forget about all those things we were told, that a man should not cry, a man should not maybe be seen as weak. Nobody said that if you are crying, you are weak. And it is always good if you are weak. If you are weak, it's always meaning that you've stood strong for too long. So the best thing I can advise out there is that you attend these sessions. Speak up to your friends. If you believe maybe you have friends who will gossip you, then the best thing is to get another caliber of friends and share out your issues.